Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another Last Epoch dev stream. As always, I'm your host, Mike. Hello, and we're hopping right into game. A little late start here. I discovered that it takes me 12 minutes to go from "oh crap, I'm working" to "it streams live." So that's good. And yeah, so we're just gonna hop right into things. Let's get our chat cleared away here. Let's phone with our backpack. We're going to town. We're still playing with our two-handed blade dancer. Nothing new there. Let's hop right back in. I think we actually want to go this way. How's everybody doing? If this is your first time here, or you just want a refresher, as always, we stream for charity. World Neighbors is our charity of the month. We'll have a new one next month. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. Put @Last Epoch Game in the question, and I will see it better. If you notice someone else asking a question later that doesn't have that in there, you can slap an @Last Epoch Game on there and let me know that I missed one. Or I'll just say this again later too. Yeah. Hope everyone's having fun. Doing good today. I expect to be a little light today because there might be something else happening in the genre. I still haven't tried it yet, but I want to. I will. We'll see. See what happens. Might take a little bit. Things are starting to. The frenzy of multiple release has calmed down a bit, so we're a little less in the every second gotta be going. What's going on here? The water's not loaded. Interesting. That's a cool one. I've never seen that before. Come on. Come on. Just don't be alive anymore. How's everybody doing? I've had a really good week. I've had like a strangely good week. It's been really nice. Nothing really major. I guess nothing like standout great has happened, but it's just been like a really solid week. We are going through potty training with the kid right now, and that's not been fun. Hey, Dario! 23 months. Oh, we're coming up hot on that 2-year mark. Thank you very much. Those bees. I guess we haven't done like a bee anything in a while. There's a big influx of people, and I guess we'll have to at some point revive the thing that this little sticker is from right there. If you've never seen what that is, oh, it's kind of buried. I bought a bee Halloween outfit for a 5-year-old and wore it on stream as a neck collar instead of a skirt. Because my neck is the size of a small person's waist. That claymore could be actually really good. Oh, maybe. It's funny, like I can already, as we're getting like further into the campaign, I can already start to feel this build like slowing down, where I'm like, it's gonna be problematic in a little bit. I can feel. All right, where were we going with this? I think we were coming down here. Yeah, we're just getting that leech right away. Yeah, if you have a question, please don't forget to put @Last Epoch Game in the question. I haven't seen any yet, but I assume there's some questions in here, so I'm just gonna see if I can read some. Do you have any estimate on when the next bug fixes may come out? I do not know when the next bug fixes are coming out. I know there's sort of always right now at least, there's always a hot fix that's in the pipe to go, and so once that gets approved, I'm sure it'll be coming out with more stuff. I know there were some people that were really hoping to get one out today, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah, we're not actually using shadows. I gotta do something for my damage. We're like ZDPS right now. It's not okay. Can you add a dog to the Imperial here named Mediumus as the link between Maximus and Minimus? I mean, I'd be lying if I said this is the first time I've heard that suggestion. I've not had a chance to play the D4 beta yet. I've gotten as far as watching most of the opening cutscene. And it may have crashed in the middle of that. Which, to be fair, the Last Epoch editor was running in the background, and Last Epoch was running in the background as well. So it's probably more my fault than anything else. Hell, I'm kind of new to the game, and I work on Spriggan Form build with Vine, Summon Spriggan, Scorpion, and Healing Totems. All these kind of scale with Attunement. Yes, lots of Druid stuff scales with Attunement. But I want to pursue Poison Chance. Does Attunement do anything for this build, or should I only scale Poison? Also, does minion melee or spell damage does anything for me, or is it only damage over time? So, I'm sure you can get this answer in a text format in one of our like forums or Discord or something a lot better. But generally speaking, I can go over roughly what affects what. So if you're trying to give, okay, so see this says 21%. This is 33% poison resistance and 21% minion poison resistance. So what's going on here is all the stats that say, can I do this? Oh, it's this. Oh, we took this out. It's frustrating. All the stats that say minion apply the stats to your minions. All the stats that don't say minion don't apply the stats to your minions. And I know it might be seem kind of obvious or whatever, or like why does this need saying? But it is something that just needs to be clarified. And the stats all work the same on players and minions, except for attributes. Attributes don't actually get transferred to the minions. Their effects do, but yeah. So the say a minion is dealing poison damage, increased minion poison damage, increased minion damage, and increased minion damage over time, all will help that because they all apply to poison damage on your minion. As far as attributes go, the abilities that you're using, if you hold Alt on the tooltips, it'll tell you what the attributes do for that minion. Most minions, it helps with health and damage. So as a good example here is Ballista, which is a minion, has dexterity scaling, and level scaling. Also minions have level scaling. The scaling you're seeing right here is extremely consistent across almost every minion. It's not quite the same on all of them, but most of them you'll see this. So the minions you're talking about will probably have attunement scaling, 4% per point for increased damage, 1% per point increased. The attack speed might be different actually. So that might be something different there, but it'll say what it is, and then level scaling, health per level. So attunement will help with your minions, regardless of what type of damage they're doing, because it's just increased damage. So all of their damage is increased. I think I want to get rid of Ballista and put points into Smoke Bomb so I can start getting some of the damage buff stuff out of it. That might help speed some stuff up here. We've got that. We'll just go up that way now. Next question. Hey Mike, when a skill converts all sources from one damage type to another, is that supposed to be reflected on the character sheet? No. Are you guys working on a bug? Probably. Please take bug reports to the forums. Yes, we are working on that bug. Hey Mike, when skill converts also... Oh, yeah, sorry. Twice. Started my fire summon lately, and my minions regen shows 0 all the time. Is that a bug, or do I misunderstand the information in the minion tab? You might be misunderstanding the minion tab. This shows sources of increased minion health regeneration that are generic. So if you have, say you had a stat that said like increased ranged minion or bow minion health regen, that wouldn't be displayed there. Or if you had increased companion health regen, while that would apply to most of your minions, because on Primeless most minions are companions, it wouldn't be counted in that tab. So it only shows exactly what that tab would reflect. Likewise, if you had like +5 minion health regen, not increased, but just +5 flat, it wouldn't show up there because it's showing increased, not the total amount.
Easy. Too easy.
Item linking will be in this month? I don't think so, because I don't think there's going to be a major content patch this month, and I think it's waiting until the next major content patch. So, hold on, there's only what 7 days left in the month. I think that's going to be a 0.91 feature. It was very close to being ready. But yeah, I just didn't quite get in. I did see a version. It's frustrating because I did see a version of it working. But there was some changes to the chat system that caused that version to break, unfortunately. Oh, we got another... I don't know. This is why I was holding off on it before, is because I knew I was just getting the specialization slot really soon. So that makes sense. We're going to do Smoke Bomb. I think this one's slow stacks. Yeah, we want slow. We do want duration and area. Frailty. Yeah, we want down here, don't we? Cleanse ailments. Yeah, this is what we want. We want to cleanse those ailments. That's exactly what we want. We are doing some Silver Shroud stuff, so that's going to be quite useful. We don't care about our allies. We have no friends. Yes, that one's great. Armor Shred. That's what else we're going this way next. Yeah. Cool. I can't remember exactly where stuff is on the trees. Yeah, I'm like, I know what is here. I don't know where it is or what it's called. Someone's just looking at it in a giant list. Yeah, let's get rid of some stuff. Okay, this is pretty sweet. No, not what we're looking for. Sort. Let's grab that one just in case we want it later. Hello, mate! I had to reinstall the game after the trade changes. We haven't put any trade changes in, so I'm not sure what you mean. When we get the trade in the game, can you elaborate more? Oh, I see what's happening here. Okay, so you're asking if you will have to reinstall the game after the trade changes. I mean, so the item faction system will come with a large patch. It will not be happening before a large patch. It will not be the item faction system as a whole will not be coming like immediately or anything. This idea was something that we first discussed like a week before that post went out. And since that happened, like 0.9 released, and we've been hotfixing that like crazy. So like we haven't started on the item faction system at all yet. So there's still lots of work to do there. I hope that answers your question. I'm not quite sure. If you have a question, please don't forget to put at Last Epoch Game in the question. Any plans to add toggle for controller players to allow skills to not auto-target? I don't know. Maybe if you want that, please go leave a suggestion on our forums. Where am I going? This way. As you know, there is no accuracy rating in the game, so it means you can attack. Our attack can't miss or be dodged, right? No, I mean there is dodging is a mechanic, so there's no miss, but there is dodge. So someone can dodge an attack, and in the monolith you can get monster mods where they get dodged, so it can be dodged there. And some individual enemies can have dodge, but it's very rare. Alright, I have another question regarding defenses. I tried today to make the arena on level 50 difficulty with my level 73 Necro, 1.5k life, 30% armor, full res and bone armor working, and I get insta-killed by the boss on 150% more damage. What am I doing wrong? I mean, that 150 more modifier is pretty huge. There was likely one that was a lot less than 150. Maybe you pick the other one first. There's other defensive layers that you may want to look into. Crit avoidance, glancing blow. Necro, there's not much glancing blow. Ward, so you can look into ward generation. Use minions more as like defensive elements, like use them as meat shields. Fun fact, in the arena, there's the boss fights that happen. The rogue will use, if you get the rogue at the end, it'll use decoy. And while it doesn't force the player to target the decoy object, if you manage to kill the decoy before it expires, it will drop a whole bunch of crafting materials. So there's like a reason to attack it, and so it does kind of work as a decoy for the opponent. I really think that's neat. I think it's really cool. Yeah. I think we went here and here. So slow. Yeah, crit vulnerability. Let's go. That's actually, sorry, that's another really useful thing. Talking about defenses. Sometimes you can use offensive abilities as defensive layers as well. So frailty is a really good example of this. Frailty reduces the damage dealt by 6%, multiplicative with other modifiers, and lasts 4 seconds. Stacks up 3 times. So you can get. This is a little misleading because it has a specific time. That frailty information is just generic. So if you get frailty applications on like a weapon, for example, so this, like, I have a chance just to apply frailty on my weapon. So the things that I'm attacking pretty quickly are dealing pretty significantly less damage to me because of that. So that might be a good option as well to increase your survivability. You can get minion frailty applications. So if you're playing on an acolyte, you can. I think you said acolyte. I may have just like made that up. Oh, Necro, yeah. So yeah, you can have your minions apply frailty too, which is really good. Smoke bomb failed. Smoke bomb again, didn't fail. Nice. Yeah, look at those dust shroud stacks. Oh yeah. All right. Hey, greetings from Brazil. Hello. It's probably gorgeous down there right now. In general, are you happy with the current state of throwing builds? It's kind of strange because weapons have very little impact on throwing bikes. Weapons do have very little impact on throwing bikes. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I get this question a lot. It's sort of that like half feedback aspect to it. I think the important thing to note with a throwing build. Yeah, let's just put a throwing ability on here. Like shurikens, let's say. So like shurikens, thematically, there are like this is an alternate weapon. This is a secondary, maybe not secondary. This is an alternate weapon that the rogue has access to. This is sort of drawing to that fantasy of like the right tool for the right job. And these shurikens are not your weapon. Excuse me, I had a little lingering cough from that long cold I had. Drink lots of water, boys and girls. So this is it's not, you're not throwing your weapon, right? And this is true for basically all. I mean, there's kind of a thematics weapon throwing that happens with javelin, but let's ignore that for a second, because this is mostly what people are talking about when they ask questions like this. Is you're not throwing your weapon, you're throwing like a secondary weapon, an alternate weapon, something else that you have in your arsenal. And so in order to like balance this, because it's not your weapon, like balance it, the thematics and the mechanics of it together, we try to keep those concepts separate a little bit. So the things like, what do you equip that helps you throw things better, right? Like maybe you've got more things you can carry, so you like your belt has like utilities and things like that. I think belts have throwing stuff on them, may not anymore, but like gloves, rings, they're all like associated with your hands and you're throwing things with them. And that's kind of why that's where the primary throwing stats are found, on rings and gloves. And we also balance the throwing abilities base damage from a nice mod there, but I don't like the whole thing. That's why we balance the base damage, as though knowing you're not going to be getting flat damage from your weapons. So yeah, answering the question, yes, I'm very happy. Alright, hey, first off, I want to say I love the game. Thank you. Just have one question. What is... I'm trying not to die here. What is the dev's philosophy on one-button builds? I find I'm playing a piano a lot of this game, and as a person whose hands hurt a lot because I'm old, it always confused me why devs are against one skill does all philosophy. I don't mind hitting a bunch of buttons for bosses, just not 24/7. I think that we try to I don't know, provide as many builds as possible that are good to use a bunch of buttons. That definitely doesn't mean that there are no primarily one-button builds in the game. I think that's especially clear with like Warpath is like the poster child for one-button builds, you know? Let's get to the sub to Steve. Thanks, bud. Steve is, you could say he's part of the team. Yes, very much so. That's funny. I appreciate it. Thank you. What was I saying? One button build philosophy. Yeah. I think there's this. We do generally steer things towards having multiple things to do, and I think generally one button builds are often useful in a channeling situation. It's where they show up the most, which is why Warpath lends itself so well to that, because it's also a mobile one button thing. But I think we kind of lean more towards the lack of one button builds as being like a really common thing, just as it's I guess the gameplay that we find more interesting ourselves. I will say that we like it's hard because it's not something that we're like, all right, how do we don't ever sit down and say, how do we work more buttons into this build or anything like that. Yeah. I hope that answered it. Hello, Mike! Did you guys expect the amount of people still playing every day by now, even with the huge amount of RPG stuff coming out this close together. We're really happy for Ellie getting the attention it deserves. Yeah, I mean, we were definitely hoping that we would still have a significant number of people. I actually don't look at the numbers that often. I try and avoid them as much as possible. I try to, you know, just like keep making the game, keep having fun with it. I try and just ignore the numbers as much as possible. I do see them every once in a while. And sometimes someone will message me, like a friend will be like, "Don't you work on this game?" And I'm like, "Yes, I have been talking about it for 5 years now. Thank you." And like weird things like that have happened recently, which is really cool. So yeah, it's been fantastic. It's been fantastic. I'm thrilled that we're like DL4 beta started today, or open beta started today. I'm thrilled that we're still seeing lots of people playing. Like there's over 100 people here right now, which I did not expect. I thought, given what's happening today, that today's stream would be like a 20-person stream. But thanks for coming, everybody. Glad to have you here. And I know I'm a little bit behind on questions, and I apologize. So I'll try and get to the next one. Will there be trading 1.0? There will be the item faction. Okay. Our current goal is to have the item faction system as soon as possible. Okay. I don't know when that's going to line up exactly with patches and everything like that. But yes, item faction system is like one of our higher priority items of new features to add. We know it's something that a lot of people want. We know it's a very anticipated feature. There's still a lot to do with it, and the reason I'm being kind of vague on timelines is because I don't know if we're going to run into problems at any stage of it or not. So if everything goes well, yeah, it'll probably be like we're getting on it pretty quick here. But the fact that we're just not that far into it yet means I don't want to make predictions I can't back up. And it depends on adding the clock back to the minimap. Absolutely, I don't know where it's gone. I think it's one of those things where there's a bug that removed it, and we've just had so many more important bugs to deal with that it hasn't gotten put on the priority list yet, you know? But yes, it's coming back. In the Jed video, you have a shaman using Eber Hammer with Lightning Earthquake, which looks awesome. However, there's no reason to use Lightning EQ with melee weapons because it gets switched to spell. Can we do something similar to Javelin to transfer some of the melee to spell damage? Maybe. I really like the suggestions I get on stream. It's really cool to like hear people's thoughts on it and everything like that. I get so many suggestions every day that I don't write them down and I do not remember them. So if you really want to get your suggestions listened to and possibly added to the game, please put them on the forums, on Discord. Get other people talking about them. You know, like all that sort of stuff it's really good for getting them noticed. But sending them directly to me, terrible way to get them noticed. I'll read them and enjoy them, and 10 seconds later they're gone. But thank you. Oh, Borov Soul! Welcome everyone from that stream. Glad to have you with us. Just go over a quick recap. We do stream for charity. If you have a question for me, put at Last Epoch Game in the question. I'll be happy to answer it, do as quick as I can. Where's the next one? What's your favorite class and build? I'm a big Rogue fanboy. You'll see me sort of like default to Rogue. I think my favorite build so far has been it's so hard. I really, and I know I said I'm a big Rogue fanboy. I really enjoy detonating zombies. That's like my favorite thing to do. Volatile zombies, not detonating zombies. Volatile zombies. I think that's been my favorite build recently, but generally I defer to Marksman would be my default. If I'm like, what do I play? I'll play Marksman. I was seeing some stuff, some posts recently about like respecing skills while you're leveling and everything like that, and the cost being too high while you're leveling and stuff. And I think that there might be a piece missing from the information we're being presented here, and it's kind of right here, is that the experience gain that it has is super duper accelerated. So like I got this at the start of the stream. I specialized this right at the very start of the top of the stream. It's been half an hour, and I've been going pretty slow. But we're still level 50. We're still in the leveling process. I haven't even got a single level up since this unlocked at the start of this bar, and this is how much experience I've got. And it started at 6, I think. It'll tell us right here. Minimum 7. Okay, so it started at 7. And I've already got a bunch of. I've already got 3 level ups from it. And like, the others haven't moved hardly at all. You know, so they do catch up quite quickly. So if you are planning a respec, it's not as devastating while you're leveling as it might appear. Oh, disappear. We do gotta swap a list out for something because it's just useless. They're like, I tickled you to death. Yeah. A little bit closer. There we go. Alright, next question. Scroll, scroll, scroll. That's a big gap. I assume there's a bunch of questions there that just aren't tagged with me. If you have a question, please put out Last Epoch game there. Is there ways to make corruption in monos more important? I mean, it does do a lot of stuff, but there's no like thing you can do in game to change the effect it has. That's what you're wondering. Hello, Mike. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you too. If a node states when you kill an enemy, X happens, does it count minions / totem kills as you? No, you are you. You are not your minions. Only you are you. Any chance we might get a sound redesign of the bow sounds with flurry multi-shot? Or like the build, but the sound really annoys me. I mean, any chance? Yes. If you want to leave feedback for it and get the suggestion in, please go to the forums. When should we expect an auction house? So the bazaar, which is very similar to an auction house, is something that we're working on. It's part of the item faction system. You can find more information about the item faction system. Oh my gosh, that was a lot of damage. Don't die, Mike. You can find more information about the item faction system on our website, on our forums. There was a recent dev blog that covered the details of what that's going to look like. We don't have a specific timeline for it yet. As I was saying earlier, this is a extremely new feature concept right now, and we're just getting going on that post 0.9 launch. I do not have an ETA on when it will be in. It will not be in. Unless something dramatic happens, we're not aiming for it to be in the next patch, the next major patch even. Like, we're at the stage of the document we released on the forums is all the work that's been done on it. Like that document being created. We just knew we had to get something out on the topic as soon as possible. This was a pretty hot topic, and there was a lot of misinformation going around about the systems that we were planning, and a lot of very wrong assumptions. So we're like, we have to get some sort of communication out to write this to make it clear what's actually going to happen. Yeah, so as soon as we had something that we were confident about going forward, we're like, release it, tell everyone about it, go, go, go. But yeah, that is still a extremely early process development feature. We are shredding that armor. It's like it don't even exist. You want to be a totem? I mean, play a mage, play sorcerer, take arcane ascendance, And you're a totem. Congrats. Oh, come on. Smoke bomb. We just specialized. There's tons of cool stuff smoke bomb does right now. Including tons of armor shred. These things are just zapping everywhere. Come on. I am the knight. There we go. It's hanging out my smoke bomb. Flare Shark of the Ox. You had some funny names that are generated so there. Can you also just talk about how many tentacles Lagon has? They're just popping up everywhere. Hey Aaron, how's it going? Recently we got a discussion coming up in the community related to the lack of consistency because of some sub-skills receiving or not the bonus of some nodes in the skill trees, especially damage ones. So, what should we expect for the future? Will sub-skills still remain how they are now, with some benefiting from the rest of the skill tree and others not, or can we expect to see changes to make them more consistent across all skills? Okay, so I have a gigantic response to this that I posted. I'm just going to find the link to it and post that. Let's find this. This has already been posted, it's already public and everything, but I'm just gonna slap it in chat. So the TLDR of it is there is a very clear rule in place that we don't tell you ever, but like when I say clear, like a well-defined rule. There's a well-defined rule that we have in place. Oh, Kentarok, welcome back. Thank you for 4 months of resub. Glad to have you here. Cheers to you, sir. So there's a distinct rule, a clearly defined a rule that we have clearly defined to ourselves, that has not been communicated well, which defines what will be passed on and what won't be passed on. The confusion came from when I answered a question wrong on the Last Epoch channel, which does happen because I'm unbelievably far from perfect. And here's the way the rules work. If the ability being triggered is an ability that shows up in this screen here, it will not receive the stuff from the tree. Okay, it will just get used as though you had used the ability, and it'll use its own tree. If you don't have anything in its own tree, it's just a basic version of the skill. The exception to this, there's 3 exceptions I'm going to talk about here. The exceptions to this first rule is black hole and using the meteor skill. So the meteor used from black hole is a generic meteor. Let's just call it comet for now instead. Okay, so black hole using comet is not the same as using meteor. So that's an exception there. The second rule is that any modifiers which are conditional on the opponent's status. So right now you see, like, I have ignite on this target. Woo! I'm out of potions. This is bad. I'm gonna die. Yep, I'm gonna die. Okay, so if you have something that's conditional on the status of your opponent, for example, like more damage to ignited enemies. So if I had something that says flurry deals more damage to, yeah, okay. If I had something that says flurry deals more damage to ignited enemies, and flurry was proccing energy wave. Energy wave. Is this energy wave? Kinetic burst? Yeah, kinetic burst. The code version of this is called energy wave, not kinetic burst. Anyways, so if there's something on here that says like more damage to ignited enemies, because that is checking the condition of the opponent's status, so it's saying because the enemy is ignited, it's going to do more damage. That does not get passed on to sub-skills. So Kinetic Burst would not get the damage boost from more damage to ignited enemies. Only Flurry would get that. If it said Flurry does more damage while you are at high health, conditional on your own status, or more damage per shadow that exists, conditional on your own status, the number of shadows that you have, those do get passed on. So conditionals based on your opponent's status do not get passed on to subskills. The two exceptions for this. Ooh. Hey, look at that! I was talking about making the build with this. This is great. I can't do it on this character though, but yeah. The exceptions to this are crap, it's in that post. Static Orb and Javelin. The Javelin, the split, the rain where it comes down and it splits out like Divine Fury style. That does inherit enemy conditional stats, and Static Orb does one of them as well. It's in that link I just posted a little while ago, the Reddit link. So that's the rules and the exceptions as they are right now. Now the question that I think you're asking is, how's it going to change going forward? Or is it going to change going forward? Because you don't like this. Fair enough. I think it's probably frustrating to deal with too. And ideally there would be a hard, fast, systematic rule that would enforce this. The reason it's like this is every time we do an enemy target conditional stat, we have to write specific code for that specific skill and that specific condition. And if it's anything that's being passed on to a sub-skill needs to go into... Each skill gets something called a mutator, and it changes how that skill works when you use it, based on what nodes you have selected. And lots of sub-skills don't have mutators. So for example, here, let's use Kinetic Burst again. Kinetic Burst does not have a mutator that changes it, because there's nothing that affects it that needs to be manually adjusted for that ability. If there was, I don't even know if there is a target conditional thing in Flurry. I don't think there is. Yeah, I don't think there is. Regardless, if we wanted to, we'd have to make a mutator, attach it to Flurry when it gets used, so Flurry would be able to modify Kinetic Burst when Flurry uses Kinetic Burst. Which we can do, and which is why the two exceptions that I mentioned, that's what they do. When we were making them, we manually went in and adjusted those. Getting some cool stuff here. And so what we want to do, I don't know how we're going to do this yet. We're sort of, we need to figure out how we're going to do this. But we need to have some sort of systematic way of applying this type of effect that doesn't rely on us manually adjusting each skill mutator, and passing along that stat to each sub-skill as we're casting. Do I know how to do that? Or when we're going to do that? No. Do I know exactly what it's going to look like functionality-wise once we do it? No, I'm sorry. But it's on the radar, and we'll work on it.
Yes.
I do love this model. Like, got some serious Doc Ock vibes. No! Let me talk to Lagon. My death will be swift. Your death will be... Actually, my death might be swift. Eep.
You chose this.
You chose this! I know I did, didn't I? Crap.
Lost. These walls will be your doom. I am losing my patience.
You're losing your patience. Come on. I just got here.
You are a fool.
Yes, that's true. I am a fool. Good timing, Mike.
See the harm you are doing?
That triggered 2 smoke bomb sounds.
Lost? These walls will be your doom.
Oh!
I am losing my patience.
Just get a question while I'm doing this. We'll just die, won't I?
You are a fool.
Oh! Yes, I tried to look at chat to find another question to talk about, and didn't go so well. Currently, there are only 2 base weapon types for generic minion damage. They're both pretty early game bases. Any plans to create higher level bases for different archetypes? I mean, we're frequently adding in more stuff, so maybe I don't think there's any specific plans for it now. If you would like to get that suggestion noted and possibly add to the game, please head on over to our forums. Leave it there. Hi, first of all, congratulations for the game. Thank you. I would like to know if you will do something about memory leak. Thank you. There is something that, like, I know people have been reporting that they've been seeing. I don't know if we have like full detailed info on it yet to be able to fix it or not. I think someone is attempting to recreate it right now consistently to try and find out how to fix it. Llama! Should probably kill these things before going into there. Will there be a console release, Xbox, PlayStation? We do hope to eventually have a console release. It is not going to be available at 1.0. I can say that for certain. If we do a console release, we will start investigating that after 1.0 is released and settled down. We do not have any sort of relationship with Microsoft or Sony, or Nintendo for that matter, to get a console release going. We don't have any dev kits. We don't have any. We've never done any like test builds or anything like that. Oh, you know what I should have done? My lightning res is 7%. Okay, what are the chances I can craft on one of these while this is happening and get a little bit of resistance on there? I'm gonna say really bad, but is it worth a shot because it's funny? Yes.
These walls will be your doom.
None of these are. Gosh. I need lightning res so bad.
Losing my patience.
Oh, there's lightning res and charm there. Health. Fire res. We don't need fire res.
You are a fool.
Okay. Like, more than doubled our lightning resistance. Let's go.
Don't you see the harm you are doing?
Still eating stuff.
You chose this.
Okay, and I'm gonna try and get another question while I'm doing this.
Walls will be your doom.
Hey, will there be any storytelling cutscenes in the game? Oh yeah, definitely. We are a lot of that stuff's gonna come in 1.0. We are working on some cutscenes. We'll be seeing. We're also revamping the opening cutscenes because right now they're all character based, and they kind of give you like a little hint into the world, but none of them really talk about like what's happening. Why are you like? Why do you have to do this thing? We're all kind of revamping the start of the game as a whole. But yeah, there are changes to and improvements coming to story presentation, as we've seen already. Point 9 had a whole bunch of those, and future patches will have even more. Okay, when we die here in this fight, which we're gonna die in a second, I'm gonna actually go fix my gear and put some proper lightning resistance on stuff.
Don't you see the harm you are doing?
Yep, and it was a mistake.
Lost. These walls will be your doom.
Don't I know it? Her trash talk's on point because she's just right.
I am losing my patience.
I do have culling in my lethal mirage though.
You are a fool. The harm you are doing?
Okay, I'm trying to get a question here.
You chose this.
Alright, hey, is there any use for unwanted uniques yet? Not really. You can sell them. I know that's not, like,
Walls will be your doom.
what you're looking for. Okay. Where are we
I
going?
am losing my patience.
I believe it, I'm killing you so slowly.
You are a fool. Don't you see the harm you are doing?
I mean, no?
You chose this.
Yes! Alright, who needs lightning res?
Lagon is unpredictable.
That's what I'm counting on.
Trying to protect everyone.
Alright. This is gonna take a long time. Oh no, my damage is so terrible. Oh no. Oh no, this is gonna go so bad. Can I do anything to up my damage before this fight starts? Doesn't matter. Health on melee hit. I mean, it'll help a little bit, I guess. I can probably, yeah. I have so much leech already. I can actually reroll this. Yeah. It's actually way better. Level of hail of arrows. Not useful for us. It's okay though. Yeah, cold damage we do not need. Minion health we do not need. Fire damage we do not need. Minion damage we do not need. Alright, that's unfortunate. This might be better to just use. Yeah. Okay, let's grab a free prefix. No. Fizz damage, yep. Okay. That should be better. That should be a lot better because cold res is going to be great. We need lightning though. Damage. Oh, I realized my face is over this. Sorry. This is what I'm doing. Sorry, just a quick crafting interlude. Fire res. What is our fire res right now? It's still overcapped. Let's try and switch this to something else. Dodge rating. Let's try and switch this to something else. Hi, fire res. Nice to see you again. Fizz damage. Yes. Yes. Free endurance. I'll take it. Okay, this should help some. Get better gloves than this. No. Area for area skills. Yeah. Wow, my left eye is itchy right now. There's area for area skills. Wow, this is kind of hot garbage, isn't it? Armor's good. Crit strike, free crit. Yeah, okay, okay. I mean that went decent. Just go vitality. We're not doing much damage over time stuff at all. Lethal Mirage, yeah, we'll take that. Freeze, we're not doing that. Mana regen, yeah. Res, what's the health regen, we're gonna chaos that. Necrotic, I mean, not useful for this fight, but useful. Gentle channeling, nah, we don't channel. Okay. We're better. Are we better enough? Unlikely. Let's give it a shot. Crafting interlude over. This is how you get your butt kicked by Lagon. Ow. Okay. Getting decent armor shred stacks, which is nice. Did we break 50? I thought we were getting close. That's a sneaky ability there where he like puts his face down. You gotta make sure to move for those. Okay. Yeah, that one. That's the one that gets me. Woo! Is there a technical reason why these rules exist, or is it a design decision? It's kind of the way we built those things. This is back to the design of sub skills inheriting certain things or not. It's kind of one of those things that we just didn't think about really. The long-term effects of it, and the system kind of ballooned. I think the reason why nothing's been done to completely normalize them at this point is technical limitations on it. Like when those effects, when that style of effect was first added, like the concept of a sub skill was pretty early on. And we just kept adding those types of effects, and we're just like, okay, well, conditionals aren't inherited. And then we started adding conditionals based on, like, players' status. And that's when the waters got... Wow, the waters got muddied. Alright, Lagon. Yep, go that way. Oh no, the wrong way! The advice I always give is when he starts to do his big charge up attack, you want to move to the center. There we go. So that he goes away from you.
You are starting to bore me.
I didn't know it was gonna bug there because it moved me fully up into the character. So yeah, you move to the center so it goes away. Whoop, get out of that. Clip me. Oh, I was too far. It's okay though.
Your blood will be but a drop in my ocean. Ha! Is that the best you could do?
Oh! I didn't see him duck down. Lethal Mirage just saved my butt and killed him in one. Oh, that was close.
Now, why have you come?
We got lucky there. Is the campaign complete? No. The storyline seems to include defeating Riot, heading back to deal with the Emperor, but it ends earlier. Yes. Is there more campaign coming later? There is. There's still 3 chapters missing. You need to ping. Yes, you do need to ping me. I'm sorry if I miss questions. I know I'm probably super behind. I'll catch up. I'm just going to power through some of those after we do this fight here. Let's go. Let's go. We got our blessing. That it's kind of mad. That crit avoidance is nice though. With all the other stuff. Yes, there's that throwing damage. Yeah, not for us. Oh, I love this one. Oh, so pretty. How does the game decide to sort items when you press the auto sort button? Great question. It's really basic. It starts with the physically largest items, and it just says like it probably starts with two-handed sword. It says like all the two-handed swords, put them in starting on the left, and then it probably says all the two-handed spears, put them in, then all the maces, then I guess all two-handed weapons are the same or something. I don't know. Like it takes all of the things that are the same size, slaps them over to the left, and then the next biggest thing slaps over to the left. Next biggest thing slaps over to the left. There's an order that it goes in. I should know. I literally wrote it, but I don't. Sorry. It's very simplistic, and I do really want to add more sorting algorithms for it, so that it will, so that you can like press the sort button multiple times, and it'll like sort in different ways. Or like this is kind of going a little far, but maybe adding in like a setting to be like when you sort this way or something like that. Yeah, this is one of those like. There's so many features that you look at and you're like, yeah, I gotta get back and fix that at some point. I gotta get back and fix that. Yes, Llama, I do know whose death will be swift. Any idea when mouse buttons will return to its former glory? You're talking about the left mouse button being able to assign a skill here. Hopefully soon. Someone's working on it. By the way, can we expect to see more hotfixes for 0.91? Yes. It's not already at 0.9F. So many releases in little to no time. Yeah, it's unfortunate we've had to do so many, but it is good that we're able to show that we are able to respond quickly to issues when they do arise. There's no way that's going to be better. Let's go stick a few uniques in our stash just because I like having them. And yes, I do know about the stash problems for deleting categories. PSA, the stash category problem that happens, if you make a new category, I'm literally working on this right now. So if you, I don't want to, I can force it to happen. I don't want to force it to happen. If you switch the order, so if I were to take this and say this is category 2. So the stash tab, any stash tabs in category 2, and I then drag category 3 over and switch its place with category 2, and then delete category 3, it will delete category 2 instead. Because what it's doing, and this is just a silly little oversight that has horrible repercussions, is that it's deleting each category when it gets created has a category ID that is immutable. Static, can't be changed, and so this is ID 2 actually, even though it says 3 because it's 0, 1, 2. And if you delete this category, it's going to it's category 2. It's going to delete the category at index 2, which is 0, 1, 2, and therefore it will delete this category, which is very problematic and really stupid. So just if you don't reorder the categories, they should be fine. But obviously that's not a solution, and we are definitely going to fix it. I have a fix that I'm testing right now. Or I was before this stream started. DY for this insane game. You're welcome. Glad you're having fun. Is there going to be more endgame content? Absolutely. No, just not Mike viable. Well, yeah, fine.
You're back. You met I
love this character too.
Did you have to kill her?
No, but I enjoyed it.
Surely there must have been some way to persuade her. Though next, it will be a long road.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
It will be a long road to Majelka after, but you are used to walking, right?
Sadly, yes. Is there plans to make it where we don't have to do normal monoliths on every tune, so we can do empowered right away if we wanted? There are no plans at the moment to change that. I know there's been a lot of feedback on the topic recently. I do have this topic scheduled as a discussion topic for Tuesday's game design meeting. So we'll give it a chat and see what we have to say about it, but there's no plans on it right now. Will pets ever pick up materials for you, like the ones you earn in-game, where it's possible to auto pick up for them? We have no plans to change the material pickup system at the moment. I mean, like, copy and paste the answer I just said for the last question, I guess. There's nothing scheduled for that one, though, but yeah, we're doing armor shred for sure. For sure. I'm surprised how fast Druid transformation bug got fixed. When I send out the report, I got a reply 30 minutes after I sent out the report, and I think I only took 3 days for it to get fixed. Sweet. It is possible, like, I don't want to downplay that we are working on stuff quickly, but it is possible someone was already working on it when the report got sent. Hello.
Nor am I a fan of theirs.
It's good, it's good, it's good. It was a good line. Alright, let's get back into the action, right? So Lagon's been nerfed vis-a-vis the sweeping I-beam not going the full distance. Has it? I'm pretty sure that sweeps the same as it's always been. I could be wrong. Any spoilers that I have missed? Oh, I haven't done any spoilers yet. Oh my goodness, I forgot. I have spoilers for you guys. See, I rely on you asking for spoilers to remember to give them. It's totally your fault. It's not my fault at all. You can't prove anything. No, I'm just I got stuff for you. I got stuff. Let's start with this one. Here is this is a Mage T60 armor set. Little turnaround for you. Drink lots of water. Will there be any updates to the endgame in the next patch? I can't guarantee anything yet. There are things on the list that we hope to get in for next patch. I mean, like 0.91. When I say next patch, I'm not talking about hotfixes. There are elements for updating some endgame systems that we have planned for 0.91. Nothing big, but there's some stuff, some little things we have planned. I don't know if it'll make it in for 0.91 or the patch after that, but yeah, like updating the end game is so like our major focuses right now with the game is, you know, like stability, making sure like things like accidental rollbacks don't happen, decreasing load times, improving server performance. Like that's number one priority. like and then the number 2 priority for us is like finishing the classes off so they all their skills are finished, adding the final mastery classes, polishing up the end game, like deepening the end game experience, adding the item faction system. Like these are the high priority things for us right now. So yeah, we're working on it, and then also simultaneously with all that, just bug fixes and polish updates, and that's always happening. Shrines reset or extend the buff timer. Reset. I should probably actually hide this now before I start playing again. Any plans to make armor less relevant and make armor scale better for endgame? Or those are opposite things. Or make armor scale better for it. Those are just two sides of the same coin, really, I think. I'm gonna say no. We don't have any plans for that. That's interesting. Yeah, I got one there too. Yeah, wow. Well, shadows. We don't want the shadows. We don't care about that haste duration. We do like that. Melee physical damage. Yeah, that's what we want. I'm gonna go with no on no plans for it. But if you have a suggestion you'd like considered, please head to our forums and leave us feedback. Any updates on the optimizations coming in 0.91? Steam Deck experience is almost playable. Yeah, I get such vastly different reports on how Steam Deck works. It's so interesting. I mean, so there was a ton of optimization and performance updates that happened in 0.9, and we're still adding more. So it's still happening. We're still trying to update and optimize performance as much as we can. We're looking. Server optimization is a huge topic right now for us. Partially because it will let us do things like have more mob density. It'll allow us to do things like have more game servers running on the same physical machines, which makes the game cheaper for us to run. A lot cheaper for the game to run. Even just adding one game server to a machine can have a huge impact. I scroll by a ton. If anyone has any questions, don't forget to put @Last Epoch Game in the questions so I remember. Hi, Mike and chat. Hello. Will there ever be an autocast toggle? We don't plan for it, but ever's a long time. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to head on over to our forums and leave that there. I mean, it's so hard for me to answer questions like, will there ever be this, or do you have any plans for that? I mean, so much of it's just like a lot of these like little details. No, we don't have any plans for these things. But it doesn't mean, and when I say we have no plans, it doesn't mean that we also have plans not to specifically. So it's like, yeah. It's usually like we decided on having it one way and released it, and haven't had another formal discussion about it since. It's usually what that means. Bit of an ambush here. It's okay, we disappear into our own cover. I brought my cover with me. It's fine. Gotta get that last little bit of map exploration done, you know? Do skills you guys balance that some of the skills good only for early level or end game post story missions? No. Can we at least get faster stability on alts in normal monos, especially on later ones that are relatively slow to get the boss if you already have gear and hit empowered? We don't have, like, we're going to be talking about this sort of stuff coming up, but we haven't discussed it since 0.9 released, since before that, actually. I can just warp back here, can I? Yeah. So maybe if you have any suggestions, please head on over to the forums. Drop them off there. Because suggestions go in one ear and out the other for me. Sorry.
I suppose dodging Osprix is off the table. Fortunately,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you'll go.
Because they're all over the place.
Unfortunately, you'll. I'd rather take.
Ah!
Unfortunately, you'll go alone. There are a few
Guess I already
things
did
I
it.
need to take care of here.
Tell us the truth, Mike. Do you plan on making a Lich Reperform MTX on 1.0 release? No. But Lich Reperform is getting a new model next patch. Which I know I said last patch, but should actually be coming next patch. I saw a preview of it actually in game running around. Not all the animations were done, but oh, some cool variants for it too. Looks good. Looks really good. Well, I'm sure there'll be MTX for it post 1.0. Hey Mike, is it intended that corruption gain in a group when killing the shade is only applying to the player that started that echo? I hope it's not. I don't think it is. Just wanted to say that listening to you talk about game dev design makes me really want to start doing it too on the side. Cool. Yeah. It's a lot of work. I will say that, but it's a ton of fun. So if you enjoy that sort of stuff, the advice I always give to people who are considering doing it as like a hobby on the side, scope very conservatively. So if you're like, I'm gonna make a game that does A, B, C, D, you know, cut B, C, D, E, and just do it, just make it do A. Especially for the first one, because finishing a game is unbelievably hard to do. Not from a like it's technically difficult or anything like that, but just like emotionally difficult. I don't know the right way to put it, but like actually finishing a game and releasing it is so rare. The percentage that actually get released compared to the percentage that gets started is shocking. Yeah, good luck. Do it. I swear I used to be able to assign abilities to the left click. It's true, you did. Isn't that why there are two icons? It's true, there is why. What was the reason for this change? There was a giant bug. We haven't squashed it yet. When doing multiplayer such as T4 Sanctum and having scaling take effect for mob HP, if a player dies in the boss fight, yet the others kill it, maybe change to let the others also get loot, etc. Sorry, I think I may have just read that wrong. If you have a suggestion or feedback or a bug report, please head on over to the Discord, or not Discord, forums. Leave it there. But the experience in multiplayer for the dungeons should be pretty consistent with, regardless of if you're the party leader or not. And I'm pretty sure whether or not you get the kill or not, like whether or not you're alive for the kill. I think if you, I think the way the way it's supposed to be is if you release, you don't get it, but I can't remember. I know it's a topic that we had for our Thursday meeting, and we didn't get to it, so we'll be talking about it on Tuesday. But I know there's some problems in there. I just took the wrong node. It's okay though. What is going on? Oh my god, so much poison. Oh, you cleanse. That's why I took that. Good job, Mike, cleansing me of 3 poison stacks and not waiting until you had 10. All pro strats right here. You heard it first. Whew. Are there opportunities similar to other games, cough cough, to get your own unique similar item, similar item into the game? Oh, okay, so we have in the past had supporter packs that came with design a unique as part of that. And so we've done quite a few of those. There's a lot of uniques in the game that are supporter uniques that are designed by players. We kind of a year and a half ago, maybe even longer ago than that, we had to close down that program. I don't know if it's permanent or not. Yeah, I don't think. I think we'd like to bring it back if we can. I don't think it'll come back before 1.0. It is weirdly enough. So we were selling those packs for $1,000. This is gonna sound ridiculous. We were losing money on every single one of those packs, which I know sounds absolutely ridiculous, but just the time and the number of people that are involved with making that unique, that like leave what they're doing to go work on that supporter unique and collaborate with that supporter, and like the wage difference for how much it would take to just make a unique for those people ends up being more than $1,000 pretty quickly. So it was, we're also hitting a pretty big backlog on them where we're like, these people need to go do things to get the game ready for 0.9 and 1.0. So we kind of had to stop doing that. I'd like to bring it back. There might need to be some sort of like limited availability lottery or something like that, and just not have it be a money thing. I don't know how we can do it fairly, but I know that we don't. I know that in order to price it such that it's worthwhile for us to do, and we won't be flooded by requests for it, the price would have to be unreasonably high, and it would not feel good. So we don't really want to bring it back at this crazy stupid price and be like, all right guys, it's this much now, isn't that terrible? So that's kind of, we're trying to avoid doing that, because we still like to, we love having community created uniques and supporter uniques in the game. That's just absolutely wonderful. We want to keep doing that and keep providing that opportunity to people. We just don't know how we can do that yet and have it be reasonable and fair for everyone, and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully soon. I shouldn't say soon. Hopefully eventually. Yeah, give me those ice beetles. Let's go, boys. Who's the necro now? It's me. I love pack of ice beetles. This guy is just tanky. Yeah. Let's go, Ice Beetles, before you expire. I do kind of wish their duration was a little longer, so to say they're gonna run out any second now. Yeah. We need poison res. I know that right now. So we should start looking for poison res, which is 0. That's terrible. What are your own goals with 1.0 release? Finish the masteries, have multiplayer rock solid. Those are my goals. Personally. What's the story behind the bear? One of our coders, who, like, you know who you are. Thank you so much for putting that bear emoji in there. Oh, it was perfect. Well done. Fantastic. when we were setting up the default name, fallback name for nameplates, if there was a problem or anything like that, they just decided, like, this was not planned or anything. They just decided that it would be best to have something distinct and like easily recognizable and kind of cute to be the default name that showed up, and they just slapped that in there, and that's it. That's the whole story behind it. And it's absolutely adorable. You can mess with the rotation of it by forcing them to turn. Oh, that's hilarious. That shouldn't happen. Gotta get that rotation decoupled. The poison resin there too? Okay. Okay, let's do a little crafting. Some crit avoidance, some Ellie res. We don't need mana though, so we're gonna chaos that right away. Fire penetration with ignite. Somehow worse. Okay, this has gone downhill off a cliff, and we're floundering at the bottom of that cliff right now. And yet somehow because of that poison resistance and the crit strike avoidance, I think it's actually better. What am I doing? What am I doing?
Thank you for the assist. I could have got you.
I love this guy.
I can't complain about that offer. You ready to head out then?
So pragmatic. Hey, Thought. Hi, Thought. I have several a day. Sometimes multiple times. Any plans to make crafting extend to idols, like using 2 1x1s to a 2x2 or 1x2, 2x1 or 1x2, so on and so forth. We've talked about things like that. I don't think we'll do specifically that. Idols will probably not be changed at 1.0. I'd say that idols having I think idols being an untapped source of customization and future depth being added to the game is very useful to have so readily available once we get to 1.1 and 1.2, 1.3, and we're looking for things to do. So yeah, I not yet. Is cosmetic shop happening before 1.0? If not, when is it coming? It should be next patch. Really should be next patch. There's 0.91. It's like so close to being ready. It just wasn't quite stable enough, and it was so last second. And because we're dealing with real money things with it, it had to be rock solid before getting it in. So we delayed it. Because like, yes, it's terrible to have like a bug eat an item that you worked for, and like that feels awful, and we like want to do everything we can to prevent that as much as possible. It is clearly worse to just have it eat your money, your real money. So that had to be kept back just on the off chance there was a problem there. Any plans in the work to change how corruption is gained in party? Currently, only the host gains it. Not ideal. I'm pretty far behind, I think. If you have suggestions, please go to the forums. I don't know. We're gonna talk about it tomorrow, Tuesday. Sorry. Do you release last chapters of story content update before full launch to test and bug out? The final story chapters will not be available at 1.0. There will be story content that comes post 1.0, which I know sounds real weird to say, but we know that the time it will take to finish the chapters is longer than we want to wait to release 1.0. So it'll be I think 2 chapters post 1.0. I think, could be wrong. That ability offset's wrong too. When doing multiplayer such as T4 Sanctum and having scaling take effect for mob HP if a player I already answered this, didn't I? Shaman update when? I mean, we're constantly updating all the stuff. What's LE written in? Prime, like 95% of it's in C#. There's like we start getting into like what do you consider LE as from a standpoint of like what it's written in? Does like the engine, the underlying engine, does that count? You know, like stuff we didn't write, packages we're using, like the server code, does that count? You know, like there's all sorts of stuff that like the server allocations and things like that that aren't written in C#, and it's C#. Has the team played D4? And if you guys have, did you guys see cool design decisions that you might want to implement in LE? So I mean, first off, we do try really hard to, I guess, not just take things from other games, because quite frequently, even if a system systems generally don't exist in isolation. So you can end up with a system that's like really cool in one game,
hold untold levels of wealth.
and if you just take that system and you just slap it into another game, it just doesn't work the same way. And even if you try and adapt it carefully, there's like the interactions that they have with other components and other systems, it quite frequently has problems.
I'd love to clear them out at some point, but we've got far too much to do right now.
So it's difficult to just be like, as you're playing a game, be like, oh, this system's sweet, let's take it to do this other thing, you know. And we like to develop Epoch sort of in the context of Epoch, not in the context of, hey, I saw this cool thing in this other game. Now, that's not to say that our the games we play influence the games we make. There's just no way around that. That's true for every creative medium, and it's not just the games; it's everything. So you read a book, and it influences how you make a game. You watch a movie, and it influences how you I don't know, write a book. You know, so there's definitely influences that come over for sure. And I can't say this has been anything that we have looked at and been like, hey, let's do that, or anything like that. As far as how we played it, a bunch of people have played it. I have watched the opening cutscene. That's all I've done so far myself. Will the game be cheaper one day, or even increase the price? We have no plans to change the $35 price tag for the game right now. I cannot speak to ever. Or one day. Will you be introducing new skills in the future? Absolutely. Every class and mastery will have the same number of skills at launch. So there's one more base rogue skill missing here. There's one more rogue mastery skill missing here. There's one more blade dancer skill missing here. There's one more marksman skill missing here. And there are 5 falconer skills missing here. Rogue has the fewest number of total skills available so far, but all classes will have the same number of skills at launch. Post-launch, we will still continue to add new skills. There's very intentional spaces in these trees to add more still. We can also just slap more on the base class. We can slap in an extra mastery class if we want to. Like there is room for new skills, and we will be continuing to add them. Passive Hawk Wings in Beastmaster. I do not know what it does. You know what? Let's just. I'm gonna catch up on a couple questions here. Hey, look at this cool thing while I talk. The passive Hawk Wings in Beastmaster gives a chance for haste on hit, but doesn't say the length of haste granted. Is all sources default 1 second of haste, even when it's not stated? Default source time for haste is 4 seconds. I think if you hold... Oh, no, it won't say it, actually. Game Guide probably says it. I know you can't see my screen right now. Is haste not here? Haste isn't here. Haste is 4 seconds. My friend didn't release... and just didn't get loot. Yeah, so there might be a bug, or it might just be something we overlooked when we were setting it up. We'll talk about it. Hey, Mike, happy Friday. Hey, happy Friday. What are your top 3 favorite unique items in the game? Oh, that's so hard. Oh, I don't know. Kermod's Cage, I really like, with the changing the way red to white. I think it's such a sweet model. I love it. I do really like Herald of the Scurry. Squirrels are so wonderful. This is so hard. There's so many running through my head that I'm like, oh, that one's great. Oh, that one's great. Oh, that one's great. One of the ones that makes bees. Right afterward, my money's on the bee unique. Yeah, there you go. I'm predictable. It's fine. I'll take it. The 3 new ones that were showcased in the patch video, all 3 of those are just stellar too. I really like those. Any plans to update Monolith on Monolith of Monolith of Fate? It says Monolith of Faith, and I'm like just fumbling. Monolith of Fate, sorry. In next patch, since now is just running until objective is really is repetitive. Don't get me wrong, I love the game and have more than 500 hours in, but that's only because I like playing different builds, not because endgame is keeping me playing. Yeah, so we definitely are very keenly aware that the Monolith needs more unpredictable content is what I want to say. Instead of, so I know we talk about like randomized content, but I think unpredictable content is sort of a better way of putting it. And what I mean by that is things that objectives that appear suddenly, like randomized objectives that sort of like, okay, well, I'm fumbling over my words here. A great example, a very simple, very positive example of this is treasure goblins. It is an implied quest objective that shows up mid activity, where you're doing something. Okay, I'm searching for this item, or I'm looking for this location, or I'm like doing this thing or that thing or whatever. And then just so you know, there's a bug here, and it looked like there was no skills available, but I just put one in. It's because I have a plus skill item, and that's why it did that, if anyone's wondering. Sorry, let's go, Mike, quickly. I want to cleanse ailments, and so I was doing that. You're gonna make mistakes, Mike. Yeah, that's okay though. Just do it. We're going this way. We're going this way. Here. Okay. Yeah. So a treasure goblin shows up, and no matter what you're doing, suddenly you've implicitly been handed this new quest that says, "Kill this enemy before it gets away, and you get a sweet reward." And it's this like unexpected content, right? It's this unexpected objective that shows up, and so other good examples of this is like you're playing, like a really simple example from PoE. You're playing along, and suddenly there's like a map device, and there's another like map inside the map, and you go do that map. Things like that where they sort of like show up and add something cool, and it rewards you for exploring. And so like the monoliths are very keenly missing content like that right now. and we're definitely aware of that. We definitely want to add more stuff to it. We've got so many plans and so many things we want to do, and it's so hard to like fit it all in. But yeah, they're coming. What is the max corruption limit set currently in empowered monolith runs? 2 billion. I don't know. You'll never get there. How does development of a game change after its release patch? In my mind, it should be like no difference. Yeah, I mean, there's so we're not in post release yet, so I can't really tell you exactly what's going to happen. There is some difference though, and I think part of what the difference is there's a greater expectation for new content and new additions to be more more solid, more complete, and like we're getting to that point now where there's that expectation, which is good, and we want to like we want to be come on just come on. And there's that expectation. So that's kind of what I'm talking about with the
It's and hey, if you're looking for a little detour, fancy a little now. As I'm his, bring me his head. I'll be around here when the job's done.
H? Nope.
Let me know if you have any questions.
Is it even Shift K? Nope, it's just not even this build. Okay. The cosmetic purchasing panel I was going to show as an example for that. Like had the real money thing's really the reason why it's not in, but had it not been to do with real money and we were 2 years ago, it probably just would have been slapped in, even though it wasn't quite fully polished yet. But as you get closer to release and as we're past release, any new features, any new content, anything that goes in, there's a greater expectation of quality and polish that we really want to maintain. So I think there's a little bit of a shift as the game launches. But as far as like what we're doing and developing and looking to do, I think there's not a ton of change there. Like we're gonna still our patch cadence will hopefully be the same. That's the goal. Back to our 0.8x cadence, not what we had for the year that we missed patches on. But yeah, it shouldn't be much of any changes. I think set items fall behind now. What is the plan for them in the future? I agree. We don't have a set plan for them yet. What's gonna be the pricing? What's gonna be the pricing on MTXs? Do you expect to have something like tiers of cosmetics with increased prices? What's the plan? Yeah, like there will be certain cosmetics, which I love that so much, which have like cheaper tiered ones that are maybe a little less flashy and cosmetic VFX effervescent. I don't know a good word for it, but just like a little less extra will be cheaper probably, and the ones that are more extra will probably be more pricey. You know, like I think probably a decent example of this is like the pets that came with supporter packs. So we had like here, this one is this is the one tier down from the one that was just up, I think. It's still cool. It just doesn't have that like lightning VFX. So this one's got, does it have VFX anymore? Oh, this one might have like a little thing that happens every once in a while. There's some like this one will like in town it like explodes and there's like an eruption that happens with it. So like there's definite like price differences on the MTX that are more flashy, I want to say. Do I know what those prices are going to be? No. do we want, like, I think we've, it's so hard to say things here because I don't know what the prices are going to be. But I know that we've frequently expressed internally that we don't want things to be, to feel gougey. I don't know how else to say it. I think we've done a pretty good job at showing where our priorities lie as a studio when it comes to things like this. And if we haven't, that sucks. I'm sorry. We'll do a better job going forward. Our number one priority, though, is to make an awesome game. That's our goal. Yeah. Will remaining masters appear in 1.0? Yes, they will. Not a question, just wanted to thank the entire team for the hard work they're putting in the Creator Gen. Glad you're enjoying it. Always nice to hear people are having fun. Alright. That scene where we take the big old bird taxi ride. How awesome would a mono echo be like that, eh? Yeah, eh? I just realized that you ended it with A, and then I just replied, yeah, eh? Yes, I'm Canadian, if you didn't know. Yeah, I think that'd be really sweet. I know we talked about, like, there's a couple echoes that are a little on the larger side that probably could use splitting up. To be able to like, take the same total number of enemies and put them into a smaller echo. I think would help. On some of the big ones, there's a couple new ones that are really big. Don't die, Mike. Try not to die. Are there more items in the pipelines that add hit crit like Harbinger of Stars? I really like the items like that. Only way they open up so much build possibilities. Nothing specific. I do have like a big list of like unique items that would be that I want to add. Like there's 200 items on that list right now. There are several that have cast on triggers associated with them for different conditions. And so that is a style that we will continue going forward. I don't have any specific ones that are like past the initial idea stage available that I can share or talk about, or even any that I can't share or talk about. Ding! Let's go. Any plans for other class-specific weaponry like bows for rogues? If so, any skills you would expect to see changed or added to require said weapons? We don't have anything specifically planned. I'd really like to see, and I don't know if we can do this anytime soon or at all really, I'd really like to see bows opened up a little bit more to not be pure rogue. I know that's something a lot of people have expressed. We just don't have the... That'll be like a post 1.0 thing, I think. I like we're missing that. And this is the tricky thing. It's really nice to have Spike reset for 5 minutes in a row, 5 months in a row, 5 minutes. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. What was I saying? We don't have that like ranger hunter style like you got your pet with the bow, like that sort of playstyle is missing. And there's kind of there's many ways to add that. So you can slap a whole new Pig Pepper, thank you very much for this Pig Pepper 13. Got that Prime sub going on. If we had, that hunter archetype. So there's a few different ways we can slip that in. One, you can just enable bow usage on a few Primalist skills, and Beastmaster's good to go. Really, any of them could do it. You could make a new mastery for Primalist, but there's something else I'd rather slip in there first, so maybe not. You could give some way for Rogue to unlock. Give some way for Rogue to unlock the like a wolf companion. Maybe there's like an item that gives you summon wolf, no matter what class you are. Like, wow. Pretty convention breaking. Probably not. Maybe. Who knows? And there's also like make a whole new base class. Also pretty unlikely. Just because getting the mastery classes in is a lot easier than a whole new base class. So there's a lot of options and ways to do it, and it's possible that any one of those could happen, I think. So I would like to see that style of gameplay that we don't really have right now. Excuse me. Warm in here? Am I really far behind? Sorry. Might go a little late answering questions here. You know what I might do? I might just like go to town.
Easy.
For the next waypoint, I'll just stop at and just start answering questions and slap up. I got one more little spoiler for you. How far are we from our next one?
Can I help you?
Yes. Yes. I'm so sure what happens when you do this. Alright, currently when you use shift on a controller dashes to a target, is there plan to change this to the direction you are facing? I don't think there's any specific plans. I know people have been talking about that. I can't remember what was happening. Sorry. I know there's movement and targeting things that are being worked on. Hey, look, a waypoint. What have I showed you? What haven't I showed you? I think this one's new. Here is a new enemy. Yeah, this guy's great. The file name was something like slightly void corrupted, and I'm like, slightly? Okay. When do you plan on fixing the broken node and the devouring orb skill tree that we can select it? I didn't know there was one. When we get around to it. Bug reports to the forums. That's how they get fixed. Is there a corruption level the game is balanced around? I think the expectation for like very high end farming is around 300. Pac-Man was the first RPG, am I right? I would love to hear a fully fledged argument on that one. I think I can get behind it. Talking about patches, are you going to back to the 3-month cycle patches, or will 0.91 be delayed a bit more to first fix all the bugs? It'll be roughly similar cadence to what we had in 0.8x patches. I'm not going to put a number to that. Sorry. I am curious to know how many devs you had when you started creating LE. How soon did you expand the team? So like, a brief overview because I think I'm really far behind here. I'm running out of time. There was like the initial starting was like 2 people, and that pretty quickly in a couple months expanded to about 6-7 people, somewhere in that range, maybe 8 people. And then there was let's say a 7 to 10 person size team that we had that lasted a few months at least. 8 months, a year almost, probably. And it got up to about 20 people pretty quickly. And at this point, like, technically everyone's. No, at that point we started hiring people. That was when people like started getting paid, I think. Because initially started out as just like evenings and weekends, do what we can, have fun with it, project. Even through Kickstarter, we were all just like all of a sudden real jobs, real jobs, normal jobs. That's the way to put it. Other jobs. There we go. Day jobs. Will there be any quality of life items in the shop? No. I think you mean MTX shop, so real money purchasing for quality of life. No. So I got stash bug and had to do some weird stuff to get it back. Problem is, I can't edit the category now. I'll be able to edit eventually with a fix. I'm working on it. I'm hoping to fix all of it. Anything you can share about future of set items? No. I want to say I love the music in the game. I've always wanted to ask a dev, how do you go about sound design? Oh, I'm super duper the wrong person to ask. I do want to get sound design on here to talk about a little more. If you're talking about music, there's a few sweet posts. I just noticed the spinny thing is glitching hard. There's a few posts on our forums about music design. And I think a little bit on sound design too. So there's some. I would start on the forums and look on the dev blog category. Has there been any recent ARPGs that you have seen with an idea and thought, hey, that's a good idea, and done your own spin on it? No. Someone else may have on the team, but not personally, no. I haven't been playing a lot of other ARPGs lately. I'm playing Last Epoch a bunch. Yeah, I'm playing some Heroes 3 actually. Heroes Might Magic 3. Good stuff. Some sweet fan expansions to that game. Give a rogue a companion like a falcon. Yeah, like a falcon. That's, yeah, good point. You got me. Hey Mike, I've put a few tickets and I know you're quite busy. Just PSA in general, if you've got a ticket in and you haven't got a response yet, don't put another ticket in of the same topic. It will just make things worse. I've not been able to log in since Convergence. I still got the LE51 error and I can't edit my display name to see that if that's an issue. One service rep suggested that. Yeah, just like reply to that to get more help until you get it sorted. But I can't help you with support stuff here. I'm sorry. Any plans to add Legendary Potential 5 for the sealed graphics items? None at the moment, but you can leave suggestions on the forums. Any plans regarding working on the feeling of density per map? Yeah, I kind of mentioned that earlier. I hope that was a good enough answer. Will be added tier 8, 9, 10 affixes to the game. I mean, ever's a long time, but we have no plans for it at the moment. Will certain mobs get an evaluation of their HP pool? For instance, the big boys with the rock and the clubs, they are too tanky. Maybe suggestions on the forums. I don't have any specific details on that. I know I've said this like a bajillion times, and I'm sorry. There's a lot of stuff we're working on right now is like critical fixes to improve stability. And a lot of these little balance things are not as important as just making sure people can play the game right now. So there's a lot of stuff that's sort of been pushed back a little bit while we work on those things. Now that you finally released multiplayer, how much bigger are patches going to be in terms of content compared to patch 8.5? 8.5 was pretty small, so probably pretty decent, I'd say. Why have a damage over time calculation on my character sheet, but not an elemental damage over time? Are they different in calculation? So damage over time stats apply to your elemental damage over time, but your elemental damage over time doesn't necessarily apply to generic damage over time, depending on what it is, if it's an elemental skill or not. We put more generic stats in the character sheet. Some of the more specific ones did not make it in. I'm just going to put a different one up here because that one's been up there for a long time. In case I missed this one. Sorry if it's already been answered. It's okay. Are there plans to make set items more relevant in the late game? I mean, we do know that this is a frequent feedback that set items are not awesome. Oh my gosh, I just realized I'm at the bottom of the scroll. It's exactly time up. Oh, did I make it? I think I made it. How can I support you more than buying the game, loving it? The thing I always say to people if they want to support us other than just buying the game and money sort of stuff is like just be an awesome, helpful member of the community. If someone's struggling and doesn't know what to do, give them a suggestion. Engage in healthy debates on the forums where you debate the topic instead of the person. You know, just being a positive member of the community is very helpful. Because people want to be part of positive communities, and yeah. Any thoughts on a guild or group trade faction for post 1.0 faction reputation system? Wow, I think let's get the first base version out first, and then we can talk about other stuff. But yes, we've thought about it extensively, and there are very many problems with it. In the future, will unique items have more effective on builds in ways that changes their playstyle of builds? I think there's a lot of uniques that I'm going to say, on average, generally, probably not much different, but maybe some. I think there's a lot of uniques that have very heavy impact on builds and playstyles. So I don't know how much more impactful uniques could be than what the more impactful uniques we have are. Hopefully that made sense. Anyways, that'll about do it for me today. Y'all have been wonderful. Thank you for coming out. I appreciate having y'all here. I hope you had fun. I know I did. I'll be back next time. Next week, I may actually be starting an hour late. We've got a bit of an internal company event happening at the exact time my stream starts, and I want to be part of it. So I might delay just a touch. We'll see what happens. We'll put out a social thing that says what time it'll be at, though, for sure. That's about it, though, I think. Let's go find someone to say hi to. If you have any more questions that I didn't answer, just skipped or didn't answer them the way you were hoping, how it's complete as you'd like, or I kind of gloss over them because it is a little bit of a quicker format. Our Discord, there's an Ask the Devs channel. I try to be in there as much as possible, answer as many questions as possible. If it's the middle of the night in North America, I'm probably not on. And the Ask the Community channel right beside it, there are extremely helpful people there. Can I do this from here? I can do it from here. Wonderful. Extremely helpful people there, very knowledgeable. Speaking of more knowledgeable people than me about the game, we're going to say hi to Lizard. And if you have technical questions about how something works or doesn't work, he'll probably know better than I do. So have a great day, everyone. I'll see you next week. A little later start than normal. Yeah, I had a ton of fun. I guess I should put this up first. Stream's over. Have a good day. Bye.